In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NHL games happening on December 12, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NHL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Anaheim Ducks versus Ottawa Senators. The Anaheim Ducks will travel to the Canadian Tire Center as they face off against the Ottawa Senators in a non-conference matchup. The Ducks are last in the Pacific Division, while the Senators are last in the Atlantic Division. These teams played back on November 25th, and Ottawa picked up a 5-1 road win. Anaheim is 6-15 in their last 21 games against the Eastern Conference and 11-41 in their last 52 games. The over is 4-0 in Anaheim's last 4 games. Ottawa is 8-18 in their last 26 games against the Pacific Division and 2-8 in their last 10 home games. The under is 11-3 in Ottawa's last 14 games. The under is 9-1 in these two teams' last 10 head-to-head meetings. Anaheim continues to struggle on defense this season and is allowing 4.21 goals against per game. The Ducks have allowed at least 5 goals in 4 of their last 5 games. Ottawa is coming off of a nice win against the Predators and has played better defense than Anaheim has recently. There's just no backing the Ducks for me, as they've won just twice on the road this season. Ottawa's cooled off from a strong home start to the year, but they're still the better team playing better hockey here. So the Ottawa Senators money line is our full game side pick. Neither team is netting a great deal of snipes this season. Besides, 8 of the previous 10 meetings between Anaheim and Ottawa have all finished on the low-scoring spectrum, averaging just 3.38 markers per game. Still, do expect a bit more action on the offensive side on Monday. The very last 4 fixtures of the Ducks have already seen plenty of strikes, posting an average of 7.25 tallies per encounter. 3 of the past 4 games of the Senators, meanwhile, have all gone over the total, with exactly 7 snipes being buried in each of them. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Edmonton Oilers versus Minnesota Wild. After clashing in Edmonton on Friday, the incredibly talented Oilers will head to Minnesota to take on the Wild, and after a 7-goal thriller in the last one, there's no reason to not expect similar fireworks in this one too. With so much elite talent offensively and promise in every other department, these are 2 teams that have high expectations for the remainder of the 2022 to 2023 NHL season, so this will be a test for both to see how they can fare in back-to-back clashes, to see if they are worthy of taking the next big step in the playoffs. The Oilers are 2-5 in their last 7 Monday games and 6-2 in their last 8 overall. The Wild are 59-25 in their last 84 home games and 5-2 in their last 7 overall. The over is 7-1 in Oilers' last 8 overall. The over is 8-1 in Wild last 9 overall. The Oilers are 7-27 in the last 34 meetings in Minnesota and 19-48 in the last 67 meetings. The favorite is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings. This is going to be a great game between 2 of the best teams in the Western Conference. The Oilers, who average 3.64 goals per game, should create plenty of scoring chances with Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the rest of the forward unit carrying the puck into the offensive zone and creating open shots with great puck movement. The Oilers should also limit the Wild offense with Darnell Nurse, Cody Ceci, and the rest of the defensive unit stepping up at the blue line and cutting off angles to the net on the rush while limiting shots on the net, allowing goaltender Stuart Skinner to make plenty of big saves. The Minnesota Wild are going to get the benefit of the doubt because they're at home, but it was the Oilers who beat up on the Wild on Friday. The win snapped a 7-game losing streak to the Wild, but the recent result does make you give serious consideration to the plus money here. The trends lean toward the Wild bouncing back at home, but the Oilers are playing too good over these last couple of weeks to turn down at this price. While the Wild are looking to win on their home ice, the Oilers look to step up and control this game on both ends of the ice. The Oilers should extend their winning streak to 3 games and provide great odds in the process as road underdogs in this one. So the Edmonton Oilers money line is our full game side pick. Monday in the NHL features one of the best matchups the Western Conference has to offer when Connor McDavid and the Oilers head to Minnesota to take on Kirill Kaprizov. and the Wild. They just faced off in Edmonton on Friday night, with the Oilers taking that game by a final score of 5-2. The Wild then won the very next night before heading back home. McDavid and Kaprizov alone are enough to expect a high-scoring affair, and there's even more to it than that. Firstly, McDavid leads the entire NHL with 25 goals and 54 points. Furthermore, teammate Leon Draisaitl is right behind him in terms of points with 46. Similarly, Kaprizov is tied for the 6th most goals with 17. All of those numbers should increase given the goaltending of these teams. It has been the Achilles heel for the Oilers for multiple seasons now, and it still holds true. They are allowing the 11th most goals per game but are much worse on the road, allowing the 6th most. As for the Wild, they are actually a strange case of being worse in Minnesota. Although they only allow the 18th most goals per game overall, they are giving up the 7th most at home. The Oilers just scored 5 goals against them a few days ago, proving they can exploit that weakness. These teams have already met twice this season, with both games going over the total, and I expect that trend to continue on Monday. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Nashville Predators versus St. Louis Blues. The Reeling Blues look to turn things around hosting the Predators in a Central Division. The Predators have lost 2 in a row after winning 3 straight. The team is in 6-3-1 in their last 10 games, and they are 11 points out of first place in the Central Division and only 1 point clear of the Blues. Like the Predators, the Blues have lost 2 in a row, and in their last 10 games, they only have 2 wins. The team has given up 8 goals in their last 2 games, and the issue for the team this season has been a defense that is giving up an average of 3.89 goals per game. Nashville is 7-15 in their last 22 road games and 43-16 in their last 59 Monday games. The over is 21-5-1 in Nashville's last 27 games against the Central. St. Louis is 1-6 in their last 7 games and 0-4 in their last 4 home games. The over is 5-1 in St. Louis' last 6 games. The over is 5-0 in these 2 teams' last 5 head-to-head meetings. The Blues suffered a tough loss to the Avalanche on Sunday after surrendering a tying goal with less than 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd period before falling in overtime, but they have a chance to bounce back today as the Predators head to town for what should be a very evenly matched game. The Blues and Predators are similar teams who have fallen short of their preseason projections so far. They rank next to each other in XGF percentage and expected goals per 60 minutes, and they're separated by only 5 places in expected goals against per 60 minutes. The Blues have dealt with some tough injuries to key players, which is a reason for some of their struggles. But the good news is that some of those players such as Torrey Krug and Pavel Buchnevich are beginning to make their way back into the lineup. Nashville does not score many goals per game, but they play pretty strong defense and are only allowing 2.88 goals against per game. St. Louis has had issues on defense and is allowing 3.89 goals against per game. The Blues have allowed at least 5 goals in 4 of their last 6 games and have lost 5 of their last 6 games. St. Louis did play better in their loss to Colorado on Sunday, and I see them bouncing back with a W here. So the St. Louis Blues money line is our full game side pick. In the last 5 games between these teams and the last 4 between them and St. Louis, the total has gone over every time. Both teams have only scored 2 goals in each of their last 2 games. Nashville is one of the lower scoring teams in the league, but their defense has played well. They have given up 8 goals in their last 2 games, but will shore up their defense in this game. St. Louis will also play decent defense, but for the 3rd straight game, they will not do much on the attack. Unlike the first meeting between these division rivals this season, this game will be a lower scoring one. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.